You are watching The Companion. Today is Monday, which is our Health and Wellness Day, and we are talking about yoga, particularly talking about how to lose weight. I know it's one of those things that many of us are always saying on a daily basis, how do we lose weight? Well, I am joined in the studio by Neil Patel, who is a yoga expert and who will be talking about diet and lifestyle too. And I am also joined by Arthi, who is giving demonstrations of brilliant yoga practices that you can do to help you lose weight. So I do have a caller on the line. Hello and welcome to The Companion.
Hello.
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 Hi.
Oh,
Hi.
I am Mrs. Kara calling from Swindon. I've got a bad back a long time. I got arthritis, and then I got a heart problem too, and then the doctor said put in on weight, and I don't know how to lose weight.
Okay, there's two things to look at with weight loss. One of them is exercises, like we've been thinking about doing now, but the other thing is also diet. So there's a few things to think about, Anila, with diet, and especially, I don't know, sometimes in our Asian community, our diet can be, it can be a little bit poor sometimes. I'm not saying you specifically, but we tend to have a lot of things like wheat and dairy and cooked oils.
Yeah.
And these things tend to put on adipose fat tissue all around the body and even fats within the body and in the organs. So the first thing I would say is I'd ask you, do you have any cooked oils in your diet? Is there any food that you have with cooked oil?
Yeah, good oil sometime, and then I use butter.
Yeah, see, if you're trying to lose weight genuinely, I would avoid having any cooked oils and I'd avoid having any butter. I would still have the same vegetables and foods that you normally eat, but try to grill them, to boil them, to steam them, and sometimes to have them raw in salads, And if maybe you supplement one meal that you normally have with oil and butter for one meal which is without oil and butter a day, you should start to see a change. So oftentimes it is the butter and the oil that kind of gets us. So be careful of that.
Yeah, sure.
Mrs. Kira, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, it's very good. I try to cut the butter and oil.
Just do it for one meal a day and see if you can do it for a couple of months and see how you go.
Okay.
All right.
Great. Thank you very much for your call. I'd like to now invite Kantilal to The Companion. Hello.
Hello. Yes, I would like to ask that Neil.
Yes. Hi.
So that only you can do is an empty stomach, mostly in morning time. Everybody has morning because when you want to go to work, you have breakfast, so you get ready and all this.
Yes.
Is there anything you can do in afternoon or anything after food? How many hours you have to wait or anything like that?
For weight loss?
No, not weight loss. Any exercise to keep fit.
To keep fit after you've eaten?
Yeah, after eating, if you want to do this, how many hours do you want to wait?
Yeah, it's a good idea to wait 2 or 3 hours before doing any physical exercise after eating, but there is some simple things you can do. One of the things that we'll do maybe is we'll do like a plank pose, something like this. So I'm going to show you something now. If you watch Arti, this is something you can do after a couple of hours after eating quite safely. So this is called plank pose. Now, I'm just going to show you something else in a second from here, which is called downward dog, which is a little bit taller. But what you do is you hold plank position like this for about 10 to 15 seconds, making sure that you've got no pain in your back. If you've got pain in your back, then do for less, okay? But this strengthens the upper body, starts to turn the sides and works the legs. Then from there, what you do is called downward facing dog. So then after you would lift the hips up and you try and go inverse like this. Be careful at this point. If you feel like you've got food in your stomach or in your system, be careful. But this stretches the shoulders out, stretches the length of the legs. If you keep your legs really straight and your heels on the ground, you can hold this for about 10-15 seconds. Then coming back into plank pose. This is very simple. And then down into cobra pose, Bhujangasana, which is halfway to the ground, keeping the elbows tucked in and the chest out to the front. And then you can repeat a few times, then pushing back up to plank carefully. And then again, downward facing dog. So it's a very simple routine. Then you just need a little bit of space on the ground, and you do maybe for 10 minutes like this through these poses. It will work the whole of the body. How about that?
Kantilal, has that answered your question?
Please, that after dinner or after any food? you can wait but 2 to 3 hours.
I would recommend waiting 2 to 3 hours for something like this where you're moving the body around. 2 to 3 hours minimum. Honestly, better to try to organize your routine that you get some yoga done before breakfast. If you do want to do yoga after food, just work on the legs. Just something where you're doing some leg movements, which you can learn very simply. But I would say give it a time after eating, 2 to 3 hours for this I've shown you.
In other words, what you are saying that yoga is only suitable in the morning hours.
It's suitable not on a full stomach.
Okay.
Full stomach. Okay, yeah, all right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your call. I'd like to now welcome Rama to the companion. Hello, and what's your question for us today?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, I'm suffering from neck pain.
Oh dear. Sorry to hear that.
It is called cervical spondylosis.
Okay. Cervical
What sort
spondylosis.
of exercise I should do?
Well, first of all, you're going to find out from your GP if he's restricted any exercises or restricted any movements. If they've given you free range of movements to say you can do whatever you want to do, then I can suggest that you check this with them. And if I can get Artie's help again here for a moment, if you come around and face the camera a little bit that way, good. Okay. So what you're going to do, if you guys can still see me, is face towards this way a little bit. Okay, so what you're going to be doing is taking a breath in. Imagine you've taken a breath in, and then as you exhale, you're taking your head as far as you can to the right-hand side.
Okay.
And then you breathe in, coming back to the center. Then you exhale, taking your head as far as you can to the left, so you feel your muscles stretching here. Breathing into the center, and you exhale, bringing your chin down to the chest, stretching the back of the muscles. Then you breathe in, coming to the center, and then carefully as you exhale, taking the head upwards, being very careful not to go too far, and then breathing into the center, and then to relax, and then doing very small circles of the head in either direction. Try that out anyway. That's it.
Thank you.
Not too much though, okay? Because until you found out from your doctor, you need to be very careful how much you do. But do equal circles to the right and to the left, and this should be gentle enough to get some motion and some mobility in your neck. All right?
Thank you very much.
The physiotherapy also told me the same one.
Okay, so hopefully this is the right one to do then. But
Okay, I wanted to make sure it's the right one.
okay, good.
Thank you, Rama, for your call. And just to remind you, Rama, and all of our viewers, that please do consult your GP or physiotherapist with regards to anything that you have seen on the show today, just to make sure, because they know your medical history. So we are talking about diet, right? And you have touched upon it with one of our callers. But what diet do you recommend for somebody who is taking up yoga, does want to lose weight? What do you recommend?
Do you know that there's some very interesting things with diet? It's not always about what you're eating. Right. It's also about kind of when you eat and where you eat. So one thing I would always recommend to people is never sleep on a full stomach. Okay. We have this habit of when we finish work or finish our yoga class or whatever, we have our food and then we're so tired at the end of the day that we just kind of sit there and start falling asleep on the sofa. And then we think, oh, it's time to go to bed, it's work tomorrow, I'll go to sleep. And you take all your food to bed with you. Right, so then what happens is your body can't process that food, so it can't do anything with it, so it packs it on the body in little packets called adipose fat tissue.
Okay, right.
Then when you wake up in the morning, because that is sitting in packets, you need more food. And then what happens over a period of time, you've built up this accumulation of food sitting on your belly, and it's not because of what you've eaten, it's when you've eaten it.
So you should have a small meal for dinner.
I would recommend, my personal recommendation, if you're serious about weight loss, is have a big breakfast, have a decent lunch, and have a light dinner. Okay. And in your dinner, try to avoid too many carbohydrates, sugars, or fats. So if you're having a dinner with lots of kind of, chapatis, rotis, that naan bread, rice, then you've got, chickpeas in there, then you've got yogurt, and then you have a sweet afterwards, and then chocolate after that, and a cup of tea after that, and a biscuit after that. You're going to bed. It sounds like your diet.
It sounds really familiar. Yeah, I'm not saying anything there.
And then you go to bed with all that glucose and sugar. What's going to happen? You're not going to exercise in your bed, so you're going to end up putting all that on, and the body uses it as fuel for later, which you can't use. So it just piles up and piles up. So have a meal full of vegetables at night, more protein, less carbs, less sugars, less fats, and even just that alone will help you to lose weight.
Okay, and they say breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
Absolutely.
So what should people eat for breakfast?
Yeah, oats. I think the best thing that people can have in the morning is cooked oats.
Okay.
In our Asian community, we don't have a lot of oats. You know, it's not really seen like oats, what's oats? But porridge oats, Scotch oats, organic rolled oats, you know.
Okay.
Having them with, you know, milk is another thing that's really important. Don't have full fat milk.
Right.
And you should have red top, you know,
Okay.
skimmed milk. Yeah,
Okay.
and if you end up having even green top or the full fat, mix it half water, half milk,
Okay.
and then cooked oats. And the power in that will last you for 4 or 5 hours in the daytime if you have a good portion. It's called the GI rate will spread energy throughout your day.
Brilliant. And we will continue talking about diet, but we do have another caller on the line. Hello, and welcome to The Companion.
Hello, yes.
Hello, thank you for calling in. What's your question today?
Manjula.
Hello, Manjula. Welcome
Hello.
to The Companion.
Okay.
What's your question for Neil?
Okay.
If you could turn your TV volume down, that would be fantastic. Oh, our caller has dropped. Okay.
So another thing to be careful of when you're, having food, especially if you go out for a night out having dinner,
Yeah.
try to book your evening arrangements to have your dinner earlier rather than later. Let's say you and a group of mates are going out for dinner or some families. Try to eat at 6:37.
Okay.
Just in case you get to bed earlier that evening, at least you've got time for food to process. If you're eating at 9, 10 o'clock, by the time you get home, 12 o'clock, you go to bed, once again, you've got loads of this food in your stomach and you want to be careful of that. The other thing, in restaurants, don't be afraid to ask the waiter if the chef has got a diet version of the dish. So they'll look at you and they'll scratch and go, what does that mean? Just say, ask them if in this dish you can put a bit less oil, a bit less cream, a bit less sugar. And if they're a good restaurant, they'll say to you, no problem, we'll sort you out with a lighter version of that.
Okay, yeah, that's really helpful actually, because sometimes you go to restaurants and you see like loads of oil coming out of your dishes.
I mean, you're paying for the food, right? So you can say to them, look, is it okay if I'm on a special diet at the moment, I want to have a little bit less sugars, oils and fats in this. Can we make a diet version? Or can you recommend something that's a little bit lighter?
Okay.
And if you're having cassava chips, like mogor that we call, you can always go for the boiled version rather than the fried,
Right,
Instead of going for paneer, you can go for something else a little bit more, like the broccolis or cauliflower, something like that, necessary than the paneer.
Okay, and when people start a diet, how long do you recommend they go on for? Because sometimes they'll say, okay, we're going to diet for a few months because, we've got a wedding that we want to kind of lose weight for. Is there a certain time they should do it for, or should it just be continuous?
Well, I think it's a lifestyle change.
Okay.
I think a diet, when you go on a diet for a specific period of time, you'll always bounce back.
Right.
So you should look at yourself. And like I said to the other lady, saying, one of my meals a day, I'm not going to have fried, where I normally would have fried. Or one of my meals a day, I won't have bread. I won't have pasta. I'm going to have a salad. Yeah. And if you get used to that lifestyle, you'll keep it up forever, then your weight will slowly go down in a sensible way, rather than saying, right, I'm going to crash diet for a month, and then you'll just rebound the other way. Instead of having 2 biscuits with your tea at night, have 1.
Okay.
Make small changes that will last a long time.
Okay, so it's about being realistic.
Be realistic, yeah.
And I would now like to welcome Raj to The Companion. Hello. Hi, Raj.
Hi, Raj.
Well, thanks. What's your question for Neil today?
Yeah. Can you please show me how to sit after having a meal?
Yeah, for sure. So the best way to sit after having a meal, I'll do this actually, is to make sure that your back is straight. So this position here is called Vajrasana, okay? Now, the worst thing to do after a meal is to slouch onto your sofa like this, because your stomach becomes cramped and your digestion is halted. But your body should remain straight after a meal. You can do Vajrasana to sit like this, or you can do simple Sukhasana, which is a simple cross-leg position like this. But the most important thing is that your spine is straight and all your organs are open, so that gravity can take the food down your organs without any constriction or obstruction and process your food nicely. That will help you to lose weight and stay healthy.
I hope that answered your question, Raj.
Oh, no, thank you very much.
Great question. Thank you
luck.
very much for calling The Companion. I'd like to now welcome Mrs. Patel. Hi, Mrs. Patel.
Hi, Mrs. Patel. It's not my mum, is it?
No, she seems to have gone, but after Raj's call, I'm definitely sitting in that position now, trying to take everything on board. So, talking more about lifestyle and dieting.
Yeah.
What else can we do when we have busy lifestyles? We might want to grab some quick food, maybe on our way into work. What do you recommend when we're just kind of in a rush?
Well, I think if you're specifically trying to lose weight, then you should look to be cutting some fruit and vegetable in the morning and taking it with you to work and leaving it in the fridge, for example, like carrot sticks, like apple sticks or an apple, and start getting that ready so that when you feel like nibbling, there's nothing around. That's when you're going to grab a piece of chocolate.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
That's when you're going to grab an unhealthy cereal bar that's got too much fat in it, or you grab a packet of crisps that someone's got in their drawer. If you've prepared in advance and you've got these things ready in the fridge at work, or you've got them on you, then you can nibble on some stuff that doesn't contain too much fat and doesn't contain extra carbs and sugars. At least with sugars from fruits and with vegetables, they come with minerals and vitamins and enzymes.
Okay.
So they'll process nicely and actually give you something in return.
Do you know what I really want to know? And I think our viewers might actually want to know this. Can you tell me a day in the life of Neil Patel? What do you do when you wake up to when you go to sleep?
What, regardless of diet?
No, with regards to diet.
With regards to diet.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing I'll do is I'll wake up in the morning, I'll come out of bed, I'll brush my teeth and do whatever, then I'll go into the kitchen, I'll have a warm glass of water, and I'll drink that on an empty stomach. So what that does, it flushes out my system. So it gets my system awake and starts to clean it out. Then I'll do my meditation for half an hour, and then I'll come out for breakfast. So for breakfast, like I said, it's mostly always oats. Then sit down, have my herbal teas. Then lunch is, my staff and the people around me always know it's vegetables. I'm known to walk around the office eating carrots and a bunch of radishes. I'll eat vegetables for lunch, no carbs. Right. Evening meals, boiled vegetables, steamed vegetables, with whatever else I'm having protein-wise. And before dinner, by the way, 1 hour exercise.
Okay, that's very healthy and a very good diet. I definitely need to start doing something. A lot of people, when they are trying to lose weight, they count calories. So they'll be on a cycle machine, they'll be like, I've done 500 calories today, I've lost this much weight. How do you know with yoga? Is it more of a mental thing
with yoga?
As well?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to burn calories with yoga as well. I mean, it's not the same as going for a run, but it's going to be at least kind of 50 to 60% worth of that. But with yoga, you get the benefits of healthy organs as well. But just on that note, I would say that anyone who's doing a healthy lifestyle change for weight loss specifically needs to have some cardiovascular exercise in their routines. They must have cardiovascular in their routine. So that means treadmill, rower, hip-hop yoga, Surya Namaskar, Vinyasa yoga flow, but something more vigorous to get the heart rate going, get the sweat going.
Perfect. And I would like to invite our next caller who is on the line. Hello and welcome to The Companion.
Hi.
Oh, if you could turn your volume down, that would be great, because I can hear me, but I can't hear you.
Yeah, it is now. No?
Hello, Manjula. What's your question for Neil?
Hello, I got problem is because I got my knee replacement.
Yeah.
So I can't do the lie down exercise on my tummy.
You can't lie on your stomach?
I got lower back problems, so I don't know what to do. If you can see me and your exercise.
Okay, so can you lie on your stomach? Can you lie on your back?
I can lie on my back, yes.
You can lie on your back, and you want to do an exercise for weight loss for your stomach?
No, I want to do exercise in my lower back.
For your lower back, okay.
Yeah,
I'll give you something to do for your lower back. It's harder to do it from lying down in your back position, but I'll do the best that I can for you. Okay.
Because I got knee problem, knee operation, knee replacement operation, so I can't do any other. Because I used to do lie down on my tummy.
Right.
And I used to do exercise, but these days I can't do that.
Tell me something. Can you bend your knees?
Yes.
Okay, let me show you something. I think bend both of your knees back to your chest. Can you do this? Can you do that if I asked you to?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so what's going to happen is she's going to put her hands around the calves, the shins like this, and then she's going to take a breath in, And as she exhales, she's going to bring her head towards her knees. Okay? If you can do lightly like this, it will stretch the whole of the spine behind you. This is called Bhavan Muktasana. Okay?
Yeah.
So this, yeah.
One, but I can't bend one knee. I can't bend properly.
Right.
It's only 8 weeks now.
Okay.
My operation.
Okay. I'll show you something else from here as well. Okay? Bring your head down to the ground. So you bring both of the arms wide to the side. So I'm just going to very quickly show you this. Take a breath in, Arti. And as you exhale, you're taking the knees over to one side a little bit.
Okay.
Right? And then breathing it back to the middle.
Okay.
And then as you exhale, you're taking them over to the opposite side, close to the ground as you can.
Okay.
And then back to the center again. So I think at the moment that should be enough to get you moving a little bit more, and hopefully that helps.
I think I can do it.
Brilliant. Excellent.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay, I hope that helped you, Manjula. And just once again, I'd like to remind you, please do consult a GP or a physiotherapist to make sure that you can do these moves that Neil is demonstrating. I'd like to now welcome our next caller to The Companion. We do have very little time, so please do tell us your question for Neil, and he'll be able to explain some moves to you. Welcome to The Companion. Hello. Our caller doesn't seem to be there.
That's a problem I can't solve.
Okay, well, moving on from that and talking more about diet and lifestyle.
Yeah.
When yoga is meant to be relaxing for the mind as well, it's not just about dieting. So how does it help the mind and mental stimulation?
Well, yoga, when you practice yoga meditation and concentration exercises, you're taking yourself away from distractions of the world. That relaxes the system because you're not occupied by things on the outside, and it should bring peace to your body, which, by the way, also helps the organ functioning. When they're relaxed, they function better.
Perfect. And I'd like to welcome another caller to The Companion. Hello and welcome. Hello, Deepak. Welcome to The Companion.
Hi, I've got a question for you, Dr. Neil.
Hi.
I'm getting a little back pain. I want to see. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Please do go ahead.
Yes, I've got a question for you, guys. I'm getting a little stiff neck, stiff back.
Yeah.
When I'm sitting down for about 10 to 15 minutes when I'm trying to stand up.
Yeah.
I find it very difficult. I can't walk straight.
Okay.
Is there any sort of thing suggest?
Yes, so stiffness in the back. Which part of your back do you feel the stiffness?
From middle to the lower.
Middle to the lower.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you lie on your stomach? Can you get onto the all fours like in the cat pose that we done earlier? Can you do that?
I didn't see that, sorry.
Okay. Can I quickly recap one quick movement?
Yes, we have about a minute left.
Okay, very quickly. Let's get into cat pose. I think I'm going to quickly show you something. So, best thing to do, get into cat position, which is like this. You can always have a look later on or look it up on the internet. Cat pose, hands underneath the shoulders. You take a breath in from where you are, and as you exhale, head in, hips in, and stretch the spine out. This will stretch the tightness, because what's causing the pain is the tightness that you've got in the back. And breathing into flat cat and exhaling, head up, backside out. So again, we're stretching and moving the back. Because you're stationary in your chair, your back is getting tight. So you need to do this every day before breakfast and before lunch and even before dinner. Maybe just some few stretches like this, 2 minutes at a time, and just loosen your back up, and that should help you.
Thank you, Deepak, for your call, and I hope that helped you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we are coming to the end of the show, so what I'd like for you to do is just tell us really quickly how yoga helps you physically and mentally.
And on the physical level, it keeps all the organs in check. It keeps your mobility in check. It keeps your energy levels in check. On the mental level, it reduces stress, anxiety, completely eliminates insomnia, cloudiness, can't make decisions, all this kind of thing that goes on. And on the spiritual level, it connects with what we call the soul, which is the reservoir of all our peace, our wisdom, our happiness, and our love. So it basically encompasses everything we need in our life.
It sounds perfect. It's been wonderful having you here. And Arthi, thank you so much for all of your demonstrations. I know it's probably helped our viewers so much. So thank you very much. My legs are slightly hurting, I'm going to say. I'd like to thank all of you for tuning into our show today. I hope you found it enlightening and that you will want to get fit from today. I'd like to remind you that please do consult a GP or a physiotherapist or any kind of professional with regard to anything you may have seen on the show today. Do stay tuned to The Companion. We're back at the same time tomorrow.